Welcome to Breaking News. I'm Miley and bring you latest news on today. On the night of Saturday, October 20, 1973, Archibald Cox, the Watergate Special Prosecutor, asked that there be a consequence for actions that the President of the United States has just taken.
Earlier that day, President Richard Nixon has ordered Cox fired and his office shuttered. In what became known as the Saturday Night Massacre, Attorney General Elliot Richardson, citing the rule of law, refused to carry out Nixon's order and resigned. So did the Deputy Attorney General William Booker Soles. The Solicitor General Robert Bork, the number 3 official in the Justice Department, ultimately agreed to dismiss the special prosecutor. The firing, though, proved to be a political debacle for the president. Cox became a national hero. Bork became a national villain. And in a fatal political blow to Nixon, it accelerated the exposure of an astonishing scheme that brought elements of authoritarian rule to the United States, by which the president and his aides tried to use the FBI and the IRS to harass and spy on American citizens. In addition, a committee run by John Mitchell, the former Attorney General, had operatives, some of whom had worked for the FBI and CIA, burglarize and bug the offices of president's political opponents, place false stories about them in the press, and spy on Democratic presidential candidates, staffers, and family members. After news of these activities was first reported, Nixon told his aides to ask CIA officials to help hold an investigation into them. Hours after President Trump removed Attorney General Jeff Sessions from office on Wednesday, Matthew Axelrod, a former senior Justice Department official, told me that in the 40 years since Watergate, Republican and Democratic presidents alike have refrained from crossing a red line, honoring the fact that federal law enforcement officials should not be used for political purposes. Axelrod, who was appointed by George Bush and served in the Justice Department for 13 years during the Bush and Obama administrations, said that presidents do have the Justice Department carry out policies that reflect the political agenda, from antitrust investigations to civil rights enforcement. But no president since Nixon's has tried to influence criminal investigations. White Houses have stayed out of investigations that involve in criminal matters, he told me. All criminal matters, let alone criminal matters involving allies of the White House or the president himself. Trump's removal of Sessions crossed the red line. Sessions has faithfully carried out Trump's agenda in multiple policy areas, from the travel ban to a sweeping immigration crackdown. The only area where he failed to implement the president's wishes was in limiting Robert Mueller's investigation of the president himself. Whitaker, a former federal prosecutor from Iowa who ran unsuccessfully for the U.S. Senate as a Republican in 2014, has also said that there should be a criminal investigation of Hillary Clinton, something that Trump has repeatedly called for. Axelrod declined to speculate on what actions Whitaker and Trump might take, but he was clear about recent history. I worked at DOJ under both a Republican and a Democratic president. While some of the policies changed, the commitment to independence and the rule of law, to doing it the right way, never wavered. He said, yesterday for the first time in the 4 decades, it did.
And this story appears in Breaking News, a news format on the latest tweets, and turns around the danger of a slow-motion Watergate. Subscribe and follow us along with more about Trump's administration policy and the situation of election. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the duration of today's program. Thank you for watching.